Well, thank you, Ellen, and thank you, Ellen, and Aging Together for allowing me to present on one of our newest programs at Home with JABA. Like Ms. Ellen stated, my name is Crystal Donovan, and I am JABA's virtual programming supervisor. My position includes managing the At Home with JABA program, as well as our home delivered meals program. A little bit about me, I'm JABA's first remote employee. I've been with JABA for 13 years, and I am now living in North Carolina. So all of my programs are completely virtual, and that is how we handle the home delivered meals and, of course, the At Home with JABA. So it's going really well. I've been here for about a year and a half now, and thanks to the virtual world, I'm able to meet with everybody and do my job from a different location. So I'm very thankful for that. Before I move on to the next slide, I do want to draw your attention to these pictures. The first picture is of our member, Miss G, playing bingo through the at-home conference call line. And the other picture is our wonderful Tai Chi instructor, and she is teaching the at-home and community center members a few stretching techniques before starting Tai Chi. All right, so let's get started and learn about at home. Next slide, please. As always, we got to start with a little history of our organization. JABA was established in 1975 out of the Older Americans Act of 1965. Our focus is on providing varying levels of support for individuals and families, encouraging and promoting a healthy and active lifestyle, and ensuring caregivers and those in need of care have resources available. As you can see here, our mission is to promote, establish, and preserve sustainable communities for healthy aging that benefit individuals and families of all ages. Since the establishment of JABA, our agency has worked far beyond the original mandate to establish and implement community-based, diverse programs. JABA has a number of wonderful programs, but today we are just going to learn about the At Home with JABA program. Next slide, please. All right. So one of JABA's core programs is our congregate nutritional sites. These programs have since evolved to community senior center locations throughout the years. The foundation of our programming and services is mind, body, spirit, and community. JABA Senior Centers offer a wide range of activities, healthy lunches, and meaningful connections with peers and other community members. Exercise, music, crafts, movies, games, and field trips, we're finally back to doing field trips, help support the connection, build community, and challenge the mind while nurturing the spirits of our participants. The focus has always been on in-person gathering. That was our community. Now, why am I telling you about our senior centers? The senior centers played a huge role in helping create At Home with JABA. We wanted to take our senior centers to the homes of our seniors since they couldn't come to us during the pandemic. Next slide, please. So, how did the program get started? When our community senior center programs closed the doors due to the pandemic, as did all in-person activities and interactions, we were not sure what to do. Fear was everywhere, but we knew our services would and must continue. Question was, how do we maintain connectivity when we couldn't be in the same room together? Our team met at length to figure out what the next steps were. We focused on what we could do and what was allowable in this new day and age. Each of the 7 centers developed their own system of conference calls, activity packets, and check-in calls. After a few months, we decided to merge the conference calls and activity packets together. More and more activities began to form, and soon we recognized there was more to what we were providing. We were observing a brand new program beginning to take shape that would ensure access to voices, activities, and services when being together was not possible. The program was formalized in December of 2020 with the name At Home with JABA. It has helped us stay connected with members and keep members engaged with one another even after the pandemic. The focus of the At Home with JABA program is to bring our community senior centers to the homes of seniors, whether they are homebound, like our home delivered meals clients, or independently navigating the community. This program has a little bit for everyone. JABA's at-home programming goal is to challenge participants with new ideas, opportunities, and experiences to promote mental and physical health. With our different methods of interaction, we are able to reach seniors no matter their comfort level with technology or internet access. As some of you know, we are in a very rural area and internet can be an issue. So we have conference calls several times a week, as well as monthly activity packets mailed to their homes. If internet is not a problem, we have Zoom, Facebook, and emails for them to access as well. Next slide, please. All right, so programming and partnerships. So we are extremely lucky in the fact that throughout our agency, almost every department is helping with At Home with JABA programming in some way, shape, or form. Our health services department is conducting health presentations as well as a healthy handout in our activity packet. Our advocacy and resource department is doing informational and assistance presentations throughout the year, as well as creating a handout. Our nutritional program has really jumped with the help of our registered dietitian. The RD puts together handouts and recipes for our activity packet, as well as offering nutritional counseling one-on-one and a Zoom activity every 4 to 6 weeks, ranging from Jeopardy, trivia, or just a great presentation. Our volunteer department within JABA has done an amazing job bringing in a wide variety of volunteers that range from high school age and up. Our volunteers will
Chair, or do you want it on your chair? Or?
My chair is fine.
Okay.
Our volunteers will sometimes lead our activities, conduct performances, and create presentations. We are also utilizing our partners outside of JABA to help
Isn't it
educate
nice?
our members about what it is
Yeah, a
in their
little higher?
community.
I can put it on something higher.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Can Mary Shapiro, sorry to call you out. Can you mute, please? Sorry.
All right, so these partners from the outside of JABA include medical students from UVA, as well as hospice, Parks and Rec staff, food banks, and triad organizations. We also reach out to the community for resources that we can pass along to our members. For instance, we had the Women's Initiative do a presentation and short demo of their programming to educate our members as to what the Women's Initiative is and what they offer to the community. And I will say that was a great presentation. The members were really attuned to it, and some of them actually joined the Women's Initiative and did some of the programming with them outside of JABA. So I was really excited to spread the knowledge of what's in the communities. Another great partnership would be the UVA students. They have been a great addition to our programming. Throughout the year, we have had interns and UVA students volunteering with healthy presentations, creating educational handouts, and playing games with our members virtually. We could not do this programming without the help of other departments in JABA and our outside partnerships. The next thing I would like to go into detail about is our different methods of programming. In the next few slides, we will focus in on the monthly activity packet, conference calls, and how we digitally connect with our members. Next slide, please. Our activity packet is probably one of our favorite and most expensive features. This activity packet is about 15 pages front and back, and it's packed full of information. Within this packet is our monthly newsletter, which celebrates birthdays, special days within the month, and trivia. And then after the newsletter, we have our monthly activity calendar, which of course covers all the activities that we do. After that, we have a few informational pages from our registered nurse and registered dietitian, and a flyer or two about what's happening within JABA or the community. After that, we let the fun begin. We have word searches, logic puzzles, Sudokus, puzzles related to holidays for educational purposes, as well as recipes, coloring pages, and sometimes instructions on a craft or two. This packet goes out to about 260 of our members. The next part of the At Home with JABA is our conference calls. Next slide, please. Good old-fashioned conference calls. So we have conference calls several times a week, ranging from 15 to 45 minutes, depending on the activity. We have found that this is the way that most members prefer to participate. Can you guess what our most popular conference call activity is? Bingo. We have bingo 3 times a week for 30 minutes at a time. And I swear, I think I say bingo numbers in my sleep. Some of you, I'm sure, can relate. We have about 15 to 20 people who get on, and boy, do they have some fun. Some members will actually just call into the bingo line and say, hey, to their JABA family, and then sign back off because they have an appointment to get to. It's amazing to see the connection between these seniors. Some have never met in person, but they look to each other as a family or a community. We try to have exercise at least a few times a month through the conference call so that all members, no matter their technology, can access this activity. Our programming is very important to us, so we try to implement different activities throughout the month to assess members' engagement. Once we find out if there's an interest in a certain program, we will then get a volunteer on board to help us facilitate this new program. Another part of At Home with JABA is our digital connection. Next slide, please. The digital world can sometimes be intimidating to our members, and Zoom can be even more frightening. We offer a number of activities on Zoom, from weekly exercise to nutritional Jeopardy, trivia, and a few other activities. Even though we do not have a big turnout on Zoom just yet, we have to remind ourselves that we are making a difference in that person's life. We have one member that gets on all of our Zoom activities. Sometimes it's just her and I exercising together. The other day, she told me after our exercise class through Spiro that her walking has gotten better since doing the exercises weekly. She is not relying on her cane as much, and even her friends are noticing a difference in her walking abilities. This is why I do what I do. If I can touch one person and make them smile and help them, then I am succeeding at my job. One way we are trying to get members comfortable with Zoom is by hosting Zoom exercise classes in collaboration with our senior centers. Once the members are able to see how easy it is to use and how it changes the connectivity between people, I feel they will be more open to using it at home. We are also sending out cheat sheets on Zoom, and we'll be hosting a How to Zoom activity to all the senior centers within the coming months. In this picture here is our Nelson supervisor and his center Zooming in a Healthy Steps class to other centers as well as our at-home members. This is a great way to connect our senior centers to each other as well as to our at-home members. One of the activities that we have found a great success in is trivia through YouTube. Look up Quizbee. It's great. I find it fun, a few fun trivia videos, and everyone hops on to play a friendly competition. We could have the Nelson Center, the Green Center, and at-home members all playing against each other. Each center works within its group to answer the trivia questions to try to beat the others. I love the interaction between the centers and at-home members, especially knowing that they are learning and socializing at the same time. We had one member from at-home request that we do this at least monthly. She loves being able to interact with the centers, and she stated it makes her feel like she is part of a community. We are trying our hardest to educate our members on Zoom, as well as showing them how the connectivity is positively amazing. And this will bring up the digital divide. Next slide, please. So the lovely digital divide. As you all have heard, the digital divide is a hot topic, and I couldn't be happier, honestly. We have needed to bridge this divide a long time ago. When COVID hit, people realized how difficult the digital age or the digital world can be, especially for people who didn't grow up with it. At JABA, we are well aware of this issue and are excited to start bridging that divide. There are a few ways we want to help tackle this divide. The first step we have already taken is sending out surveys to as many members of the community as possible to see where their strengths and weaknesses lie within the digital world. Our next step in bridging the divide is we want to incorporate internet cafes at our community senior centers where members can access at-home programming, use of computers for research, and have computer classes, all on a secure database. We are all very excited to start bridging the divide and getting everyone on board with technology. Next slide, please. So I've thrown a lot at you in a little bit of time, and I just have a little bit more to tell you. As you can tell, At Home with JABA is still a pretty new program, and we are excited to see it grow. So far, we have been inducted into the Innovations Hub with Engaged, and we also won U.S. Aging Innovations and Achievement Award in 2022. I would like to share a quick story with you on how our program affected one of our members. This story is about our senior center member, Miss A, who has been coming to the center for about 4 years prior to COVID, but she had seldom participated in activities. She basically just sat there and took it all in. Since the pandemic, she has become very involved with At Home with JABA programming. And since we have returned to in-person center activities, she has participated in everything that they have done at the center: exercise, crafts, all of it. She says that when everything was shut down, she became very lonely and realized how valuable socialization is for her. It has given her a much greater appreciation for the center, as well as the virtual activities that have been made available to her and others. Those conference calls gave her something to look forward to almost every day of the week. She uses every opportunity to promote At Home with JABA to other members and tell them about her experience. This member is one that I call a regular. If she is not at the center, which is open 2 days a week, then she is on with At Home. Next slide, please. So with all that being said, we are excited to expand the way in which we serve and whom we are able to reach. Thank you all so much for your time today, and please do not hesitate to reach out to us with any questions or comments. I would like to leave you with this one quote: "The secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new." Thank you all so much.
Wow. That's pretty amazing. Crystal, thank you so much. I'm going to open it up to questions in a second, but I have a question I'd like to start with. Sort of technology wise, so you, in your role, you're coordinating all of the virtual programs. So is that right? So then if it's a conference bingo call, you're sort of physically sending out or calling I mean, like, how does that work?
Yeah.
Technology wise?
So we have a conference call number, and with that, they have to enter an ID number, and then they have to enter a passcode. And it does not change. We have one number that goes out to all of our members. It's part of our packet. Every time they get a packet, it has the Zoom information and it has the conference call numbers. So that what happens is they all call in, and when they come on to the conference call, I welcome them and make sure I check them off in our attendance. And then we start playing bingo. When someone registers for At Home with JABA, if bingo is something they're interested in, then I send them one of our bingo cards and of course our rules for bingo, the different ways we play, the X, the T, all that good stuff, to kind of get them acclimated with how we do it through the conference call line. So yeah, I kind of facilitate that. Our conference call line number, like I said, does not change. So for all of our activities, it's the same exact number to make it as easy as possible.
Ellen, there are a
Awesome.
couple of things in the chat.
Yeah, I'm gonna put her card up in a minute. I'll put her Crystal's contact information back up in 1 second. But there is a question. Crystal, is it open to anyone or just if they're like a member of JABA?
No, it is open to anyone. The only thing is the activity packet that gets mailed out does have to be within our jurisdiction just because of the cost of it. But that does not mean I cannot email it to somebody and they can print it out and hand it out to whoever. That's part of our, we have an email list. We have about 60 people on our email list. And they get sent out weekly reminders of activities. They get sent out our activity packet. So no, you could live in North Carolina and be a part of the At Home with JABA program. I just can't mail you the packet.
Right. All right, I'm going to put the slide with Crystal's information back up here. And then go ahead and just unmute yourself if you have a question.
I was wondering, what does JABA stand for?
Jefferson Area Board on Aging.
Jefferson Area
Board on Aging.
Board on Aging. Thank you.
Of
They
course.
are, Marie, they're the AAA and Planning District 10. So the equivalent of Ray's group, the CSB.
And since you gave me that segue, Crystal, enjoyed your presentation very much.
Thank you.
Wanted to ask you, I know that, up to now and for a little while longer, we've got a lot of flexibilities with area plan funding. Once the public health emergency and major disaster declaration are finished, those flexibilities go away. Can you tell me a little bit about, for the future, what you might be doing with this program in terms of the area plan budget, where you kind of park things?
Sure, I can tell you what I know. I don't know a whole lot about the area planning. That is something that my supervisor handles, but we use federal funds for the socialization. And this was something that was brought up when we created this program, is like, is this going to be a program that sticks with JABA or is it just going to be a short term? And what I was told is that it's going to continue. We want to continue this program. I did talk to my supervisor and asked about the funding aspect of it, and she said that we will be using the federal funds for socialization. After all those other extra funds are gone, I'm not exactly sure what they will be using, but I can get back to you with that if that would be helpful.
Sure, it'd just be helpful information because we're wanting to pursue similar direction, obviously, and want to learn all we can from you. So thank you.
Of course, yes.
Crystal, you said the activity packets go out monthly, was that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you said you have sounded like close to 300 mailings that,
Mhm.
gosh,
It's about 260 that go out right now, and that is a combination of senior center members that are already enrolled with our program. That's some of our home delivered meal members, and it's actually some just people that have come in through the community saying, "Hey, I want to be a part of the program." So, and if somebody does want to be a part of the program, all they have to do is call me, and we have a form that I can either email them or fill it out with them over the phone, and then that gets them into the program.
and you said a lot of the programming, or some of the educational programs are being zoomed into the senior centers as well,
Mhm.
at the same time as people are joining from the community if they're at home.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We have actually at 11 o'clock we have nutritional Jeopardy with our registered dietitian, and that is such a hit. It is great. You hear the seniors like talking, and they're talking about the answers, and then oh, we get to steal that one. I mean, it is so great to see the interaction between them, um, and so yeah, it's great that we can do that. So all of our senior centers are kind of open on different days. So we try to spread it out throughout the week. So we have exercise on different days so that the centers can be a part of that.
There's a question in the chat. Are you a staff of one?
Yes, ma'am, I am. Yes, you will hear my voice on the conference call lines and on Zoom, besides when we have like a presentation like the Women's Initiative. But yes, that At Home with JABA is my new baby. So that is one that you will hear my energetic voice on.
So for those individuals that are receiving the meals, do they get their packet through that delivery system or sort of in the mail?
They actually get it through the mail. We go through a printing company, and what they do is they run all the copies, they put everything in the mail for us. And with our home delivered meals, we actually go through Mom's Meals. So it'd be difficult for us to get it out with those meals. But yeah, we have a printing company that does all the mailing for us.
Oh, that's good to know. I was envisioning you like, setting up in the spare bedroom with all the 270 copies.
Yes, that would be a big ordeal. It would take me a few weeks to probably accomplish that.
So that's very, very good use of a resource there with the printing company. That's great.
Mhm.
That makes a lot of sense. Other questions, comments? So I guess on average, like on your typical educational program, let's say, like roughly how many, I know you said the Zoom exercise because is a little low attended because you're still trying to get people used to Zoom, and I get that. But for something like an educational webinar or something like that, like roughly how many would you see attending on average?
We have about 2 that attend from at home, and on Zoom, and then we have the senior centers that get involved, and the senior centers could have anywhere from 10 to 20 people at each site.
Okay, okay. So that telephone bingo sounds like that was
Yes,
that was the
that is
one
the
that
big
gets
one.
everybody gets connected. And how many did you say? I'm sorry if you said that. About how many might attend a good day of on bingo?
Yeah, we have about 15 to 20 that join in on bingo,
Wow.
and it's all across the district. We have some from Louisa, some from Greene, Nelson, Charlottesville, Albemarle. So it's really neat because when I used to manage the Louisa Senior Center, and so we have some of my members that get on the at-home line, and they don't even know one of the other members besides the conference call line, and they support each other, they talk to each other. Like, I got to check in with my JABA family. So it's really neat to be able to see that connection. And I'm excited to be able to expand that. That is one thing that we're working on. We worked with a couple of the housing facilities in Charlottesville or Albemarle. We're trying to get something set up there where we can Zoom in with them because they have some community rooms. We're working on that. We've gotten about 5 new members with that. So yeah, we're trying to focus in now on some of those housing facilities that need that extra socialization or just activities.
Just fantastic. Renee had to jump off for another meeting, but she commented on a great presentation. So
Thank you.
absolutely.